You always want what you can't have, and what you have you can. How you will feel, but still my heart. Where will I go? 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 You always want what you can't have, and what you have you can.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all today. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I'm not gonna lie, I am like super discombobulated today. Apparently, like I was doing some stuff in my office and looked at the clock. It was like 1:50. I'm like, cool, I got lots of time. I look at it again. It's 2:48. It's like I need to go live in 2 minutes. I have no idea where the time went, but we're here now. So it's going to be one of those days, apparently. But we're diving back into Kingdom Hearts 350 over 2 days. We're in the end game here. We're at day 301 out of about 3. It is 358, but like, you know, we skip a lot of days. But before we get started, I want to say thank you to Nicaean Credo. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So yeah. I felt like I had something else to say, and I don't. Again, I'm a little discombobulated today. It's all good. Let's go ahead. Let's dive back into some Kingdom Hearts. Are you applying yourself, Roxas? I cannot abide sloth. I'll judge you by your bonus gauge for days 256 to 275. I doubt I have that filled. Oh, hey, we've actually completed it. Very well. I'll reward your diligence with clearance for a new mission. Yay, bonus mission. Hey, Shion, how you doing? You okay? I'm fine. I'm sorry, Roxas. Here, this is for you. Hey, is everything okay? I don't think so, Axel. I don't think so. Here are your new missions. Depart as soon as you're ready. Let's go here. Emerald Serenade. Camera. Camera, please. No, 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 that's okay. I just need this. This Keyblade has very short combos, but it's very powerful. Like its finishing move is very powerful. How y'all doing in chat today? Brayherd has claimed the crown of Persondom this day. Long may your reign of 24 hours be. Good to see you, Brayherd. How's everyone doing today, though? Anyone have any fun things they did over the weekend? I went on a boat ride. It's my friend, Father Dave. It was his 60th birthday party. Rented a boat that took us from the west side up to the GW Bridge, turned around, and then went back down to the Statue of Liberty at sundown, which was very beautiful, and then a little bit up the east side, and then back to its port of call. Okay, Heartless, I'll get back to you, but first, I found a chest. It's full of diamonds! Oh no, it's one of these again, where it just kind of moves along in its path. At least it's not going up and down levels like it did in Wonderland. Get back here, young man. Thank you. I cannot effectively outrun this thing. This is going to be a problem. It doesn't help that these gray caprices just keep showing up everywhere. Talk about marching to the beat of your own drum. Get it? Because the caprices to march. Music jokes! This seems like a decent place to ambush it every time. I suppose the real tech is to just go the opposite way of it and just smack it when you run into it. Okay, Roxas, where were you even aiming that time? Come on. Well, no one called Roxas the most accurate shot in Kingdom Hearts. That's for darn sure. May as well get that while we're here. I do not remember these sections being this obnoxious. I remember them not being great, but... That is the saddest thunder spell I've ever seen. Wishing I had more, Bizarra active, but, you know, we live here now. Looks like if I can get it stuck against some of the walls, and get the finisher move off. Not like that, though. Or that. That was just me not paying attention. Gale has redeemed a father joke. Well, it's good to see you, Gale. Is chat not working? Is that part of it? Like, no one's posted anything in chat. But, anyway, Is chat working? Chat does appear to be working. Okay, everyone's just really quiet today. That's cool. It's a Monday. I don't blame you. Anyway, I had this really bad mosquito infestation in my house. You know who I had to call in the end? The SWAT team. Looks like a few of the usual suspects haven't shown up. Ooh. That's okay. Attendance is not mandatory. That Emerald Serenade just, like, zipped and zooped in a weird direction. Oh, thank you. Let us never speak of this mission again. Man, a hedge mage is so much easier when you have a top-down map to work with. You made pumpkin blondies this morning. I think Gail and I have already eaten half of them. Nice. That sounds really tasty. A pumpkin blondie. 'Tis the season. It's squash, so they're healthy. Yeah, exactly. Break the jars! Oh, boy. Here, okay, did you use fresh pumpkin or did you use canned pumpkin? Not that it honestly matters, they taste the same. But canned pumpkin is often not actually even pumpkin, it's often just another kind of squash, because the FDA just defines pumpkin as a large gourd with orange flesh. You tried to be... See, that's the thing, though. Like, canned pumpkin tastes fine. Like, and I'll tell people, like, even though it's technically not pumpkin, it's, you know, it's close enough, and it tastes the same, especially once you put all the spices in. It's really just there for a texture. Yeah, you just wanted to taste cinnamony, so, you know, you just throw in the cinnamon. Whoop. No. I'm just gonna leave this guy alone. He's got too much health to bother with. Excuse me? I said I was going to ignore you. That means you should ignore me. Oh no, there's two of them. Oh, everything's terrible. No, Roxas. The jars. Focus on the mission. This monkey I will, however. Or not. I'm not going to fill the bonus gauge on this mission. You went to a Ren fair with a bunch of people from the church yesterday. Part of the fun was noticing the historical inaccuracies. Well, the fun thing about Ren fairs that I've never understood is it's really a medieval fair. It's not a Renaissance fair. They're two very different things. But the Society for Creative Anachronism is probably there anyway and having fun. And good on them. I like the SCA. And good Lord knows I'm going to be joining in my anachronisms when I go to a Ren fair. I'll be wearing my kilt in a manner that honestly didn't come about until later, but eh. They're for low commitment LARPing. You're not wrong. But I do like that phrase, low commitment LARPing. Me on the weekends. Kidding. Today I'm supposed to take out some kind of giant heartless. First I should track down Xigbar. He's already in the field. That seems a bad idea. Usually when Xigbar's already in the field before you, he's probably causing trouble for you. I have a piece of paper which my parents paid a lot of money for that says a lot about that I know a lot about the Middle Ages. That didn't look medieval either. So much for strolling through. I mean, you could just be like, I'm just gonna ignore these guys today. Like, you have a mission. It's not these guys. Rude! I will not be having any of these shenanigans. Get back here and you take your beating and you like it, Ice Cube. That chest just said, "Hi, Ether." Should I respond, "Hi, I'm Father"? Not I'm Father, not Ether. This gets content claimed. Oh, there's Zigbar. Well, well. Look who just decided to drop in. Zigbar. Roxas. Dicky in the sights. Don't be ridiculous. I'm here to back you up. You're here to... As if. Suggs has got some sense of humor if he's sending you to bail me out. What's so funny about that? Kiddo, the only thing you'll save me from is boredom. Let's get this over with, huh? I don't like that its name is Detonator. I don't like it has a countdown. Wow, more Heartless to block my way. I am so shocked. Excuse me, I'm trying to cast a spell. Okay, well that works. It's a big ice cube. I'm gonna need extra scotch for that. That looks giant enough to me. Right. Just keep your head on straight. Your bodyguard blocked it. How rude. This is not the giant Heartless we're after. I can almost guarantee it. This fight's too easy. Going too quickly. Mission accomplished. Or is it? Huh? Oh, come on. Quit playing around. Whoa! What? Wow. Now see? This is more what I'd call a giant. I don't know what that voice was. Of course, I don't know what most of the voices I do are. I just have fun with it. Is the new Space Marine game too violent for Father Evan's stream? Yeah, I think it is. Also, I don't really care. I like 40K. I enjoy the tabletop game a lot. I enjoy painting, the minis, etc. I don't know. I played the first one. It was fine. And I own the second one. I actually got it free with my new CPU of all things. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't even finished the tutorial, and I'm like, I don't feel like playing more of this. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not for me. New Game is sort of telling me that I don't like 40K as much as I used to. That's fair. The lore's undergone some interesting changes when I was last really active in it. Just doesn't hold your attention. That's fair. There. Now you can say mission accomplished. You could have just told me there was an Ice Cube Heartless. The Ice Cube Heartless wasn't our target. Yeah, but if I didn't, you learned a hard and valuable lesson. And for the record, I did warn you to keep your head on straight. Well, yeah, but... Come on, kiddo, let's RTC. Okay. The Dark Corridor is open. Is the Dark Corridor where I do Dark Metamorphosis? Rogue Trader RPG is much more interesting. I'll take your word for it. Honestly, what I've been spending a fair chunk of my free time on in terms of gaming is Civilization 6. Because it was on sale for like $2. Yeah, level up. Okay, do I have any open level slots? No, but I do... Well, I have open slots, but if I have a level doubler or tripler, which I think... Yeah, we got a new tripler. So why don't we... Move that over there. And we could put the level tripler in there. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So there's 2 more slots on it, so I actually think I want to remove 2 from these doublers, because then putting it in the tripler, I'll get 2 more levels in total. I can't use my elixir, I need to hang on to that. Don't mind just throwing some random cures in. Just get a few more casts of those. Glide level's full. High jump doesn't need it. Okay, that looks fine. Vanquish the Heartless Threat. I don't think I can do that in a single mission. It doesn't look like I'll be able to cross without flying. Oh, hey, Tinkerbell, how convenient. Oh, hey, she wants me to go there. It's where I'm headed anyway. You want me to go over there? But it's a giant skull. That's usually a bad thing. I wonder why. Oh, my sweet cinnamon roll. Those two are still at it? Well, Mr. Shmee, this is the last spot. Me treasure must be here. I'll have it uncovered in a jiffy, sir. Captain, I found it. What? Let me see. Ah, that's actual treasure. Good work, Shmee. Oh, the lengths I've gone to find this treasure. This must be priceless. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's not treasure, that's a Heartless. Captain. What is it now, Shmee? Treasure chest, sir. It's... What? It's a problem. Yikes. Blasted Heartless, still insisting on getting in me way. You know what to do, Shmee? Run! As always, Captain. So it's you who's been going around taking out my Heartless. Huh? What are you doing here? Well, listen, pal, nobody messes with Pete's private army and gets away with it, including you. Now my new giant Heartless is gonna pluck you clean out of the sky. Let's see how you like that. Those pixels. This is entirely the wrong Keyblade for this. I kind of feel bad for Pete. He's so inept. Yeah, it makes you wonder what he did that got him... and maybe they talk about this and I don't remember it. But, like, what did he do that got him actually banished from... I don't know, the Magic Kingdom? What do they call it? It's entirely the wrong Keyblade for this because of its combos. Oh, right, it was in Birth by Sleep. Yeah. remember that just as you sent that message. Yeah, so I suppose we'll see that probably next year at the rate things are going. Given that after this we're going to do Chrono Trigger, and then we'll do 2, and then we'll do Birth by Sleep. Then we'll do something else, and then we'll do Coded, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I like BVS. Or are you talking about what I said about Coded? I have a commitment to play the entire Kingdom Hearts main series. You could just do 3. Well, I'd have to do 3D first. I don't hate 3D. I think some of its levels are fun. Especially the Fantasia level. But I have a commitment to the bit to play every mainline Kingdom Hearts game. Basically non-mobile game on stream. And the weird part is there are things about Coded as a game that I think are actually fun and interesting. They're just overshadowed by the everything. Oh my goodness, this is gonna... Do I need to just leave, get a different Keyblade, and come back? I guess that's the way. Just approach it from the side. Like, there's some boss fights in Coded that I think are actually really fun and interesting. But it's just the main game is... Yeah, it's so bad. It's... Yeah, I need to come back with a different Keyblade. This one is just not... I cannot do that. I have all the wrong kinds of combos. Okay, so... Take that off. Maybe Crisis Gear will be better than the Champion Gear here. Ooh, let's try it. 3D is good as long as you aren't trying to get all the trophies. Yeah, but I've never been someone who really cares about getting Platinum Trophy. Am I doing BBS in order, or are we going to let chat pick? I'm gonna do... So I'm gonna do a little bit of a different... No, never Aqua first, because then you have to redo certain things to unlock the final boss in the remaster version. I will actually be... So the normal order is Terra, Ventus, Aqua. I'm actually going to do Ventus, Terra, Aqua. I think that's actually a better lore way of doing it. Okay, the length of this Keyblade is a problem, but at least the combo doesn't send me flying down to the ground. I love being desperately confused the whole time because I picked Aqua first. That would be a bit confusing. But that's kind of why I want to start with Ven first, is I think it makes some of the plot more interesting to watch unfold. Especially towards the end. I hope you have a phase 2 where you stay still. It's like playing this before 2 instead of starting wondering why you should care about the new main character. Yeah, exactly, exactly. The Venus fight is fun. Oh, thank goodness we beat its first phase. Now what do we attack? Oh, we're still attacking its tail. Cool. Where did it go? Oh, it dove into the water. That's cool. Excuse me? Who gave you a treasure chest gun? Oh my goodness. Hitting the skull is even harder than hitting the gem, it seems. That's not gonna hit, yeah. Oh, he can go out of bounds, but I can't. That's cheating. Hashtag boss privilege. I might need to get a longer keyblade. Yeah. Let's just get a longer keyblade. Okay, so the champion gear, the crisis gear right out. What about prestige gear? Yeah, it's decently lengthed. Thank goodness these are skippable cutscenes. Not a great showing at first. There we go. Longer Keyblade is working out well because I can actually, like, get at least a hit in. No, Roxas quit. Maybe it was sinking. I don't know. You know what they should include in Kingdom Hearts 4? Tailspin. That way we can have a boss fight with Don Carnage. Longer Keyblade was the answer. I don't know if I'm too baby or what, but I have no idea what you're talking about. You might be too baby. Anyway, more Frozen content because money! Yeah, we're gonna go back and we're gonna do Frozen 2 as a level. I mean, when I played 3 for the first time, and they did the whole Let It Go sequence, I was like, oh, that's cute. And now every time I replay, I'm like, it's not so cute. Especially because you haven't done it for many of the other worlds. Hey, Britt. Good to see ya. Stop it! I thought Little Mermaid rhythm games were cuter. Yeah, I actually don't hate the rhythm games in 2 for the Little Mermaid world. Some of the songs aren't great, but... Stop that. Quit flying. Stand still. I'm confusing you with Gandalf. An easy mistake, I am sure. Are you Gandalf? No, but I get that all the time. Thank you so much. Well, I'm doing all right, except that this boss is being a complete and total jerk. He's being maximally rude. I did not press that button. I did press that button. Never mind. Nope, no one has rotated yet today. There it is. I wonder if I could get Moobot to use my emotes. I wonder if that's a thing. I should look into that. Because I do have the Rotada emote. But anyway, so let's talk today about a dude named Novation. Novation is not the saint we celebrate. We celebrate Cyprian and Cornelius. Novation was ultimately a heretic, but he had strong opinions about people denying the church during a time of persecution, and was like, you know what? You denied the church once, that's it. You're out. You're done. You failed the test. Goodbye. So this guy, Cornelius, comes along, and he becomes Pope, and he's like, no, I'm gonna go with no. Jesus is forgiving. It's kind of an important part of the faith. So yeah, if you were scared and you said, nope, not me, and you want to come back, cool, welcome home. And Cyprian was the helper to Cornelius. Unlike how this bird is not helping me. But anyway, yeah. So he was ultimately a martyr in exile, and that is an important witness, but I think his witness as what I would call the apostle of forgiveness is an important one for our church. And we are never so far from God's love where God is unable to forgive us. Novatius was the elder brother of the prodigal son. Is that an actual thing in tradition, or is that just a joke? Because I could see it being both. Ow, 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 oh. Stop that! Not an actual thing. Okay. I could see that. I mean, I know that Ignatius of Antioch is sometimes identified as the boy who brought the fish and loaves. Just a connection that you made. That's fair. Oh, shoot. I need to make a connection with my ability to cure. You have a relatively deep Burkadoo. Okay. Is it true that God allows suffering in order to bring about good? Okay, so always my answer to this is the Book of Job. God by God's nature, God is good. God cannot cause suffering, but God works with the suffering to bring about good. So God does not seek to cause anyone to suffer in order to teach them a lesson or perfect them, but rather in the suffering that we do experience, God's love is present and transformative, and says that this suffering is not all that there is. No, just let me hit you one more time, please. Dang it! I got stun locked right there. I was actually trying to back away for a moment. Consarn it. We have to redo this entire fight. The allowance of suffering. I mean, that's the question of theophany and the problem of evil. And philosophers and theologians have been wrestling with exactly explaining that. And I don't personally have a complete answer because I'm not God. But, you know, much suffering, not all, but most of it, I would say, comes at the hands from other people. But God allows them to continue to exist out of love for the chance that they might experience his love and convert. But also, God's ears are not deaf to our suffering. You know, the Lord hears the cry of the poor. And ultimately, it's in the cross, you know, that God enters into our suffering in such a profound way to be with us in it and to bring us to the resurrection. You weren't even anywhere near me. How did you hit me? Coming from the idea, it's correct to say that suffering is allowed so that God can bring good? No. That is not why God allows suffering. The why God allows suffering is it's mystery, ultimately. In many ways. But it's kind of in the midst of the mystery and the unknown that we also have answers that do not answer that question, but do answer deeper questions and lead us to something new. Is it correct that bringing good from it is the reason God allows it? I don't think that's the reason God allows it, but it is God responding to its existence is a better way to look at it. And, you know, part of our suffering, you know, the whole concept of original sin and the fall is rooted in our ability of free will, and it's God's love that continues to give us the ability to have free will for better and for worse. Yeah, we recognize that God brings goodness out of suffering. But that is not, and that's not why. Like, God never wants anyone to suffer. I don't get how I can be dodging that one moment and then nothing the next. This boss's hitboxes are impossible to decipher. And then he just cheats and goes out of bounds like that. We just have to sit here. I genuinely thought I was going to be able to finish this game today. I forgot it had things like this. This game needs a retooling. What I just said with goodness and the redemption for the crucifixion. God didn't... I mean, it's always tricky when we talk about Christ on the cross because that is God active in making choices, but God freely entered into suffering to bring about a greater good from it. And, you know, I mean, even Jesus in his humanness, you know, let this cup pass from me if that's your will. I mean, my answer, I think, unfortunately, is read more, oh, what are their names? Karl Rahner and Lonergan, who have a lot of great stuff to say on that, but it's also very dense. Oh my goodness. Staying so many 1-2 punches here. But I think a key part of it is the free will of Christ active in choosing the cross. If God entered into our suffering in order to bring about greater good, why would all our suffering not be allowed for the sole purpose of bringing about greater good? Because God didn't make our suffering. God encounters us in our suffering and transforms it, but God did not make our suffering. That's, I think, the key part here. Like, things God makes are for our greater good and the greater good of the world. Suffering is not made by God, therefore it is not made for our greater good. But God in his love has transformed it through the cross. So it's not that our suffering exists for that purpose, but rather that God has entered into it to give it a purpose that it did not have. And to, you know, the old theological line is God draws straight with crooked lines. But I don't believe that suffering often has an inherent reason. You know, I hate when people are, like, facing a loss, like, you know, they lose someone in an accident, they're like, well, everything happens for a reason. It's like, no! This is not part of God's plan. This is not a God of love. This is a freak accident. It's God that encounters us in the midst of it that is transformative, but God did not cause it to bring you closer to him or to teach you a lesson. God didn't create the suffering of Jesus either. Yeah? Jesus entered into our human nature in all ways but sin. This means that he lives in a world touched by, that is fallen and full of sin, but just is not actively sinning himself. Get out of there, Roxas. Like, it's with the incarnation, it's not as though God looked at what he was about to create and go, well, they're gonna fall. Well, this is what the sun's gonna have to do. It's like, no, I take the Bonaventure approach that the incarnation would have happened even without the fall. Okay, last health bar. And we have... Wow, that has a lot of reach. We actually have some cures left. I misunderstand what I said. It sounded like that because God didn't create our suffering, the sole reason for it can't be to bring about greater good. Wait, it doesn't exist for that purpose. That's the thing about the crucifixion is it is the transformative moment of God's love. But it is not there because God desired suffering or even desired that the Son suffer. But rather it is by our weakness and our death that God creates the tool for our perfection and eternal life. It's God flipping the entire narrative on its head. So just because suffering in general doesn't exist for the purpose of bringing about greater good doesn't mean that it can't bring about a greater good. Again, transformational love. But ultimately the crucifixion exists. Hold on. Finally. It exists, the crucifixion exists in response to suffering, not as, how to phrase that? Yeah, basically, like, no, God does not create suffering, but he does enter into it. A few more rounds from the long tom will show that monster who... Captain Nork. Is it gonna smash the boat? Yep. Yeah, I mean, the crucifixion's complicated in that, you know, I do not think that suffering exists to create a greater purpose in general, like blanket statement. But where the hand of God is most active can do unexpected things and can challenge even that blanket statement. I mean, God can challenge whatever blanket statement I make. He's God. But it's not... It's not that God is vengeful and desired the Son to suffer, but it is in that God's goodness and love that the Son enters into it to transform it and bring about new life, to trample death by death. And again, it's mystery, and so it's hard to talk about, but, you know... No, I totally understand you're trying to understand. It's a hard thing to fully grasp. Because, again, it's mystery. It's, you know... And, yeah, I think it's rooted in, like, how we understand the relationship of the Father and the Son in the moment. Because I get when you're saying, does God allow? We're really implicitly saying, why does the Father allow it? But remember, Christ is God. God entered into it willingly. And the way I see it is that evil is classically defined as the privation of good. So suffering, which is evil, is the privation of good, and in a sense, it is people of creation and creation itself turning its back on God and trying to create a space where God is not. So God enters into it in such a profound way, entering into the totality of it, all the way through the suffering, the death, descent into hell, ultimately leading to the resurrection. Bringing the presence of God to those darkest places. Trying to understand how suffering not being allowed for the sole purpose. I think that's the key part. Soul purpose. Because the suffering you and I experience, because the suffering that Christ experienced on the cross is the suffering of the incarnation, of the God-man. That inherently is going to make it a different kind of suffering and experience because of the because of the hypostatic union. Our suffering is not that because we're not Christ. So I think that's part of the difference too. And again, soul is, being allowed for a sole purpose. I don't like that language because that's too black and white, for one, on understanding why suffering exists. And two, it creates a very unhealthy image of God, in my opinion, where God is saying, well, you got to suffer to learn. And it's like, no, God is responding to our suffering. God is moving moving in and through us, and in through those around us in our time of suffering. Precisely in the pattern of the cross rooted in it. Then doesn't that still beg the... Well, yeah, but we could... That's already a question. With or without the crucifixion, it is a question of how do we understand a God who allows suffering? And it's precisely the crucifixion that changes the narrative and the nature of the question. Because we don't fully have an answer to why God allows suffering. Again, go read the book of Job again. It is a wonderful book. But a large portion of the answer that Job gets is not an answer. When you really look at it, it's a bit of a non-answer. But it drives to the point that we don't fully get it on this side. We cannot. We don't have the full picture. But we see God in the suffering, in our suffering, and leading to something new. That it's not about allowing, but we see an invitation that can make it something better. See, and I don't like that image. And this is me personally. This is my personal theological view. You know, and admittedly, I'm a human being. But I don't like the view that suffering exists so God can bring about a greater good. And it's the clause of how that's constructed, that it's if suffering, then greater good from God. And it leads to this circular creation of a God who's almost wanting suffering. And it's like, that's not my image and understanding of God. That's not the God that I know through scripture and sacraments. God can bring about a greater good, and that is our cooperation with his grace. I do believe that, but I don't believe that God allows suffering because of that. I think suffering is allowed, personally, this is my theological opinion, and again, there's not exactly a magical formula because theophany is a complicated thing. But suffering exists because of free will, because of the choices that individuals make that harm others or self. And it's often complicated and tied up into webs of multiple people being involved. But it is out of God's love that we have that free will so that we can freely come to know him. And so kind of a natural consequence of that is allowing us to make mistakes. You know, it's think of like being a parent, and it's like you can try and, you know, keep your child from ever getting hurt or making a mistake, but it's like, you know, you're not going to be able to realistically. And yes, God is all-powerful. God could have constructed the universe in a different way, but this is the way that God has made the world. This is what we experience. This is what we see. So we try to make sense of it. So, but I'm glad that helps and makes some sense. And it is tough. Like this is a really tough question, and it's not one that's easily answered. I mean, I think it's one that humanity has grappled with forever and will continue to grapple with, and in the life of the church. I mean, again, my monitor fell asleep. You know, literally even before Christ and the church, we have the book of Job in the Old Testament, so already we have humanity struggling to understand it. It's not easy. And there is no simple answer in many ways that we will understand, but, you know, it's good to ask these questions. It's good to seek, and so I fully commend you on that. But yeah, I cannot buy into an image of a God who wants us to suffer. I fully believe in a God who is with us in our suffering and encounters us in our suffering and transforms us in our suffering if we let him. But not a God who has like a checklist being like, okay, well, on September 24th, 2005, little Susie's going to break her leg. You know, it's like, no, what? It's not a healthy image of God, in my opinion. So, but glad that helps. So, all right, let's get back into this. Why is me ship hitting tatters? Just total shift. Oh, I cheer up, Captain. Our luck will turn around soon enough. I know it. Ah, dagnabbit! I'll get you for this. Private army, huh? He's what an army of Heartless for. Well, ends up with a lot of something else. Priest paraphrased. Because of free will, God could have been trying to get through to the people who hurt you, and they didn't follow God's will, listen to him. Yeah, and that's the tough part. And that's, you know, we can sometimes think, well, why did God let me suffer? Why didn't God strike this person down? It's because God loves them. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, because we don't love them. Thank goodness that mission is finally over. Whoa. Superman Head, 17 days. Waning power. There's a perspective I hadn't heard when we brought it up. To be like, God, why didn't you do anything? But maybe he did, but free will means you still got hurt. Yeah. What? Did something get in my eyes? No, absolutely. This is what I'm here for. I'm 99.9% certain there's an AMA tag down there somewhere, so. Somebody's been on the forefront last week, so well, I'm sorry to hear that and know of my prayers. So. Why the long face? You have a bad dream or something? Best thing to do is work it off by training. Nope, I'm not doing that. Not doing that, Zigbar. Roxas, are you okay? You don't look so good. Just stuff that was brought up with the healing mask. Yeah, and that can be a tough part of healing is bringing it to light. Because part of us just wants to say, oh, no, I just leave it under the surface all the time. It'll be fine. It's like, well, actually, you know, it's the paradox of bringing it to light and facing it that's like, oh, that's actually bringing about healing. And it's tough. It is tough. Like, I don't want to make light of it. Though I really do want this ultimate gear. That'd be nice. But it's the paradox of when we are at our weakest that sometimes we find healing. And kind of want this Eternal Ring. That looks pretty good. Defense 28, Strength 4, HP 30. What do I need? I need a Recovery Ring. I can make one of those. Okay, let's get some more high potions in here. No! Ah! Sometimes these controls. So yeah, it doesn't quite up crit range and crit bonus, but I'd honestly rather have the greater HP and everything. There's somehow strength in the weakness of healing, which I still haven't wrapped my head around. Yeah. And it's one that we can't, you know, maybe we don't always wrap our head around it, but we wrap our heart around it. But you're doing the right things and in seeking the healing and gonna save after that terrible mission. You're most welcome, Britt. We're gonna go ahead to a commercial break now. Just looking at the time, it's about halfway through the stream. So go ahead, stretch your legs, get a drink of water, do what you need to do, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes. So, my computer blue screened of death literally just after going to ads. And I thought I had solved this issue with this new build. Seems there's something wrong with my RAM. And now it's running the memory diagnostic tool, but this is going to take a while. Really hope I didn't get faulty. Have I tried turning it off and on again? You know I have, but this is not the first time it's blue screened. Thank goodness we saved, right? Isn't technology fun? You have a computer for years and nothing happens. You build a new one and all of a sudden everything runs perfectly right up until it decides it doesn't with no real rhyme or reason. Ah, sorry, I should say.
Ah, the French.
So, unfortunately, I'm looking at this and it's up to 8% complete of the first test. I think we're just going to have to call it early today. Because this is going to take a while, which is highly unfortunate. We hang out with you in chat instead? We could. We could. I'll just stare at this diagnostic screen. Teething pains. Bummer. Hey, Kevin the Reader. Yeah, teething pains with a PC that shouldn't have. Like, I guess something had to go wrong in this build, but like, it's a shame. There, I'll even update the category so it's just chatting. What is my favorite sacrament to give to others and favorite to receive, and why? I mean, I guess favorite to give is the Eucharist, but I think you mean probably outside of that. Confession is always beautiful to hear. To receive, again, outside of the Eucharist. I'll say probably anointing of the sick. It's a beautiful one to receive. So bad, Roxy. How many of your pumpkin blondies are left? Or have you and Gail just now finished them all off? I have received anointing of the sick. 6 out of 16 left. Okay. We're getting there. Or is that an 8? No, that's a 6. I couldn't tell at this distance. Story time? I mean, so the first time I received it, and Brayherd might know about this tradition, is in the Byzantine tradition, they actually do anointing of the sick for everyone on the Wednesday of Holy Week. My spiritual director, he lived in a monastery near campus. It was a small one. I mean, it was literally just a house. But he decided he would do it on Palm Sunday before starting Holy Week rather than Wednesday. Because like, look, I know y'all aren't gonna come back. So yeah, so that was the first time I ever received it. I have also received it in the Western Rite, but you know, I don't need to talk about every experience. Yeah, it's a very Byzantine thing to do, I feel. This test is going to take a while. Your parish this year did it, I think, a few times during Lent. Oh, nice. One time it was done when I was present this year. It was Bishop Alexei of Sitka and all Alaska. Nice. I do like how Byzantine place hierarchs have their seas named. That's not like, because like in the West, it's like, you know, the city, like Salt Lake City, New York City, and like it makes sense. I like the use of all blank that the Byzantine tradition has. You know, you have all Alaska, all of Armenia, all of Ethiopia. It's like, you know what? Right on. That's cool, Britt. I hope this is just like a driver issue and I can easily fix it. Because I don't want to buy new RAM again. Been playing any fun games on stream? No, I don't play fun games. No, I'm kidding. Off stream, I've been playing, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of like Civ 6. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And then I've also been playing The Messenger on my Switch because it was on sale for like $4, and saw a friend playing it on his stream, and it was like, cool. Looks like fun, and it is. You know, if you're into the Ninja Gaiden games of the NES and Metroidvanias, it's pretty good. Oh, Plucky Squire comes out tomorrow. I hope that gets good reviews. It looks cute. Looks like a fun game. A Metropolitan Gregory of Nyssa. Nice. A random envelope from a priest who used to work at your parish. Your mailbox right now. Gonna have to swing home before this young adult event just to find out what in the world he mailed me. My joke answer is I bet he's asking for money, but yes, we get Zelda the Zelda. What if Zelda was a girl the game? Gameplay for that actually looks kind of interesting. The whole like copy and pasting ability. Being more puzzle focused than combat focused. So oh no, I might pick it up at some point. You hand address the envelope? Well, maybe he just is writing to say hi. Between Astrobot, Plucky Squire, and Zelda, it's a good month for cute, fun games. Yeah, it is. You know, it's becoming fall. It's getting chillier. You know, you want to cozy up with fun games. And honestly, I don't want a PS5 because there's not enough games. I mean, the PS5 has no games. But like, I kind of want to play Astrobot, but I'm also just thoroughly impressed with the graphic capability of Astrobot, where like, what is it? It's like 1.5 million particle effects on screen. So until Florida needs to get chilly. I mean, Florida is you know, it's tropical. It's different. You finished Astrobot, nice. And yeah. PS5 Pro, you mean the PS5 with marginal performance improvement, but no disk drive that you have to buy separate? And my favorite part, the PS5 Pro, the stand to make it upright doesn't even come with it. You have to pay extra money for that. Which I bet is like $30. It'll cool down in December. I mean, yeah, but even then, like, it won't be that chilly. You know, you just put on like a light sweater. See, that's the benefit of living in Florida. Florida man can't survive the cold. The Burmese python would start hunting people. No, no, because last time there was a cold snap in Florida, the iguanas were falling out of the trees. The stand is $25. But still, no. When you've aesthetically designed it to be upright, you love hoodies, but you wear them so infrequently. These are the dilemmas of our day. Just turn the temperature in your office way, way down. I think that's the solution. You don't get not with that attitude. You don't get to control the temp. Rise up, take control. Figure out the passcode. Take over the cube farm. Change the temperature of the whole building. I have my own office, but building management has strange ideas about temperature. Yeah, it can be like that. See, I work in a building that's over 100 years old, and so each room is connected to the radiator heater system, so but you can control that in each room. But air conditioning wasn't a thing when it was invented, and so they've installed units later, so every room has individually controlled temperature. Also working in a building greater than 100 years old. Yes. And I've seen your house. It's quite lovely. And you have the weirdly narrow room for your office. You're doing demo on it. Oh, interesting. Expanding it, connecting it back to the other room. Is that it? What about the room in the basement? How's that going? This has been your hottest summer since work from home because our house is the first one we've controlled our own temperature in it. Everywhere we lived before had people keeping the AC around 60. Whoa. That's a little too cold. Basement will be after the bathroom. Fair enough. Just curious. Figured you had a plan for it all. Your pregnant wife wants to use the bathroom without going downstairs. That's fair. I don't I would not blame her. Your mom demands it. No, well, I suppose the rest of the chat probably may not have known that, but you know. All right, friends, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hopefully, do some research, figure out what's going on with my computer. Don't like that my computer's not working. So hopefully this diagnostic tool works, but it's going to take a while. So thank you for the good luck. Send good thoughts, intentions, prayers, good vibes, all that good stuff towards my computer, and it figures out what's wrong with it. It's at 30% complete on the overall test. The first test is at 61%, and no problems have been detected yet. So we'll see where this goes. I don't want to buy more RAM. I like the RAM I have. It's supposed to be good. I swear I did my research and it's all supposed to be compatible. Why aren't you liking it? Is 64 gig not enough? You're supposed to be able to run like 2 instances of Chrome at once. Yeah, welcome to computers. I know. I've been in this game for a while. I know computers. So, but anyway, thanks so much for everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evans. It's been an interesting day with the computer throwing a temper tantrum. But happy to be here. Happy to answer your questions. Join us again tomorrow, where we're going to be playing more 5 Guardians of David, assuming the computer is working again. And Wednesday, more midweek Minecraft. No stream on Thursday, as I've got a wedding rehearsal. And then next week we'll be back to the normal schedule. So, excuse me, might do a bonus stream over the weekend or something to make up for. I'm gesturing to where my computer is, even if you don't know it. It's in that direction. So, yes, next week full normal schedule. RPG Monday at 3, and then. So it's going to be more 358 over 2 days, more finishing up 5, midweek Minecraft, and Roller Coaster Tycoon for whatchamacallit Thursday. Throwback Thursday. Like I said at the top of the hour, I'm a little discombobulated. And also, we're very close to 300 followers. We're 285. So thank you so much to everyone who's followed. Big thank you to you, the community. I want to do something to celebrate when we hit 300. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, so thanks so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and why don't we see who's live to raid into? We're going to raid on over to Flame Prince. Feel like we haven't raided him for a while. He is a flame VTuber. That's his shtick. He's a flame. But he's playing what he calls the worst Fire Emblem, and Breedy Bart is with him as well. So they are very funny together. But anyway, raid call will be Father Raid, and spam the meat morp if you got it. But if not, take care and God bless.